The travel industry is asking the White House to reconsider a restriction.
Nearly 24 travel industry groups representing everyone from pilots to airports to airlines have sent a letter to the White House urging the federal government not to implement a requirement for negative COVID tests before domestic flights in the U.S. This week, the CDC confirmed it was studying the issue and might require a negative test before somebody flies domestically. Already this week, the requirement went into effect for anybody flying into the U.S. from another country, even from Mexico and Canada. And
are you guys there?
Yeah, we're here, Jason.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah, we're just interacting with the producer back to radio station.
No worries.
Security for travel
No problem at all.
threats against them on the rise. Timothy Blodgett has set up an online portal so Congress members can notify the agency about their plans, and he is asking them to share that information with local police. Stocks tumbled to end the week. The Dow was down more than 620 points. You're listening to ABC.
Well, that's okay. That's okay. We'll just get it figured out for next week.
Here's the official forecast from the National Weather Service. For tonight, mostly clear and cold. A low in town around 29. For tomorrow, increasing cloudiness and a high near 49. Tomorrow night, cloudy with rain, mainly overnight. Gusty winds and a low around 42.
And Jessica called me about that, and I told her to take that out.
A high near 59.
So after I do the intro, you go right to the show.
High near 42. I'm Greg Schiffer on WGOW.
That's all right.
The reviews have been read and the verdict has been delivered. For value, ease of use, dependability, and great tasting food, the judges pick the Green Mountain Grill. At the Owl's Nest Barbecue Supply and Pro Shop, we have all 3 Green Mountain Grills plus plenty of accessories, plus free assembly and instruction. You'll love the way your food tastes, and the versatility of the Green Mountain Grill is second to none. Get yours at the Owl's Nest Barbecue Supply and Pro Shop.
Hey, Jason, I know it's hard to hear me. What I'll do is when they start the show, I'll do a little introduction, and then I'll introduce you. You'll know when you're on.
Sauces, supplies, and spice in the Chattanooga area. You want to rub the sweet but not too spicy? We got it. You want a mustard-based sauce? We've got that too. Need it? We've got it. At the Owl's Nest Barbecue Supply and Pro Shop. It's where Chattanooga goes to barbecue. The reviews have been read and the verdict has been delivered. For value, ease of use, dependability, and great tasting food, the judges pick the Green Mountain Grill. At the Owl's Nest Barbecue Supply and Pro Shop, we have all 3 Green Mountain Grills plus plenty of accessories, plus free assembly and instruction. You'll love the way your food tastes, and the versatility of the Green Mountain Grill is second to none. Get yours at the Owl's Nest Barbecue Supply and Pro Shop in Ottawa.
Free Talk Live.
The origin of rock and roll is in voodoo. The devil created rock and roll, and it's used to rob man of his freedom. And you cannot go into any public space in the U.S. without hearing the African drums of voodoo. And it's used.
That is the craziest thing I've ever heard. Free Talk Live, weeknights 8 to 10, Saturday night 7 to 10, on Talk Radio 102.3, WGOW.
Share it. Yep.
The station for those who think. Think about it. This is Talk Radio 102.3.
WGOW.
What's up, Johnny Mags?
Talk Radio 102.3.
Welcome to the weekend, and welcome to The Barbecue Show with Steve Ray. The Barbecue Show is brought to you by the Owl's Nest Barbecue Supply and Pro Shop in Ottawa, by the historic Midnight Oil Service Station in Ottawa, by Michelin Tires, because so much is riding on your time, and by all the great barbecue products and supplies at the Owl's Nest Barbecue Supply and Pro Shop. I know you've got questions, and we've got answers, so pick up the phone, 423-267-1023, and let's talk some barbecue.
That's right. It's the weekend. Time to start smoking and grilling here on the Barbecue Show live. Talk Radio 102.3. Also live on the Owl's Nest Barbecue Facebook page. So if you're not by your radio, go to home, get on your laptop or your phone, and you can listen to it and watch it on Facebook. Our number is 267-1023. 267-1023. It'd be great to have your calls tonight on barbecue. We'll be talking about the Green Mountain Grill in just a second. Broadcast partner is Backyard Smokers Barbecue on Facebook, the #1 destination for questions, answers, and even if you want to post some pictures to do a little bit of bragging, go to Backyard Smokers Barbecue on Facebook. Joe Varner back at the radio station. Aaron Carver here by our side, our special guest in the studio tonight, is Perry Collins, and on the line with us is the CEO of Green Mountain Grills, one Jason Baker. Jason, how you doing tonight?
I'm good. How are you?
We're doing great. Okay, we're going to start out like we always do with our guest. Now, Jason, I've got my friend Perry Collins here, who is a Green Mountain Grill enthusiast. So what we're going to do is we've got me, the retailer, you, the distributor, and we've got Perry, the end user. So I think between the three of us, we ought to be able to cover every aspect and every question that somebody might have about
no doubt.
A Green Mountain Grill. But first, we're going to play.
No doubt.
But first, we're going to play our favorite alum. Now, when I texted you your college, you probably said, "What the heck does he want to do that for?" And this is why. Jason Baker resides in Scottsdale, Arizona, and he is a graduate of Arizona State, home of Sparky the Sun Devil. And Jason, I'm going to leave this up to you now. The most famous alum in your mind of Arizona State, and that's quite a question because there's a plethora of alumni and alumnuses.
Yeah, it depends what your. I mean, you got Barry Bonds in baseball. You've got, there's so many. Ira Fulton from a business standpoint.
That's a good one.
Founder of Fulton Homes.
Mm-hmm.
You've got,
Reggie Jackson.
Al Michaels.
Yes,
Al Michaels, the famous broadcaster. Yeah.
And how about Linda Ronstadt?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I like that though.
Linda Ronstadt. Let me tell you.
David Spade was there for a little bit.
Yes, yes. Jimmy Kimmel.
Jimmy Kimmel, that's right.
That's right.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, the most famous graduate alum of your alma mater, Arizona State, that would be one Robert Bigelow. Do you know who Mr. Bigelow is?
I do not.
Mr. Bigelow is a 1967 graduate of Arizona State. He's a 75-year-old entrepreneur who started and owns Budget Suites Hotel. Now, how many of those of you ever stayed in while you're traveling?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And he's also...
I'll be darned.
Well, he's the other guy in the privatization of the space race, other than Elon Musk. Robert Bigelow is that other guy that is wanting to establish a private space enterprise. And he is also, and he's so rich that he also studies and believes in UFOs. And he is also seeking the answer and funding research into the question, does a person have a consciousness after death? So, and you thought producing pellet grills was a big deal, didn't you?
No doubt.
So Robert
He's
Bigelow.
doing real things.
Yeah, 75-year-old entrepreneur.
Okay.
Still going strong. All right. Give us the abridged history of Green Mountain Grills, because even I don't. Perry, I don't know the whole story. Do you?
No,
not at all.
What is it?
Sure. Well, yeah. I mean, I have to fix something first on the first statement there. We don't have titles over here at Green Mountain, so I can clean the toilet with the best of them. So it's we stick those titles away, and we focus on the fact that everybody can do multiple things. So
okay.
That's something that I just got to throw out there at the beginning because we don't carry titles.
Okay. I like that. that.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
And you don't have customer numbers either. You don't have customer numbers. When I call in, I don't say, Mandy, this is Steve Ray, I'm customer number 14675.
Oh, right.
No.
Right. Yeah, we know who you are.
I go, Mandy, this is Steve. Hey, Steve, how you doing?
Yeah. We try. It's tough during the rush seasons, right, where everybody's trying to get product all at once, or sales starts or what have you. That things get a little hectic around GMG.
Well, they do a good job.
For the most part, we do a pretty good job of answering the phones.
Well, how did this thing get started?
Yeah, so I mean, this is a family business, and there are basically 4 of us involved in the business side of it. But my father, my aunt, and uncle are involved with the grill company as well.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, it was a problem. We had a situation where someone had a grill. It was a specific grill, and it had a fire, and basically the conversation went with the past president of the company, saying, "Hey, this is a problem with your grill, and this thing needs." He gave the solution to him, told him what he needed for the grill, and the gentleman basically said, I'm getting out of this thing, but maybe you should go start your own company. And that's kind of what he did. He started his own company, and
what year was this, Jason? What year was this?
This was 2008.
Okay.
2008 was when he started the company, created the first prototype, and the whole thing started with a problem, right? The problem is that when you shut these grills off, you've got a burning fire. You've got pellets down there that are still burning, and at that specific moment in time, you've got if the wind hits it just right and goes through there just right, you have a backdraft into the hopper. And that's basically what happened, and it burnt down his island. So at that point, he went into his garage and started tinkering, and that's really who he is. He's a tinkerer, and created the dual fan system, which was a system on the 110 volts, where we have a fan in the hopper and we have a fan directly under the firebox, and there were 3 speeds: medium, low, high, and that's all you could do in a variable speed of 110. So he wanted to be able to control the fire better, but also when you're done, go into a fan mode to make sure that the fire was completely out. And so that was the first kind of innovation strategy, and that was the beginning of the grill. And all the other little things like a peaked lid, messing around with some of the innards, making sure that the heat shield was a little bit more stout, making sure that he had an internal beat probe, making sure that all those things were coming about in the prototype in 2008. That was kind of the start of GMG. What the business model became was a business model that focused on brick and mortar. And I think that's the thing that I look at even today as something very special, where we've been able to keep this company going with brick and mortars, and not going into Costco, not going into Home Depot, not doing the massive box store move. That is something that I think we all hold pretty dear to our hearts here, especially in a time where internet sales are so prevalent. But on that note, we did capitulate a little bit later on, where we introduced that Davy Crockett in 2013, and we did allow our dealers, so not us directly, our dealers to sell that unit online. But that's the only product, it's the only grill that can be sold online. The Daniel Boone and the Jim Bowie basically have to be sold in a brick and mortar. And I think that's a big deal. And I think it's also a big deal to a business owner when they know that we're not competing against them. I can't name a single company that operates like that today. I can go to my largest competitors' websites and buy the grill directly from them, and or some offshoot company that will sell it direct to them and get it delivered to my door.
That's exactly what attracted me to your company. The number one, the reviews that you read online are just, for Green Mountain Grill, are across the board fantastic. The customer service reviews is what I was really interested in. The support for when people want a grill break, because you hear all kinds of horror stories about that. And being in business as long as I have, I'm used to when we sell something to somebody, they come back to me to make it right. And that's kind of the way I always thought that the grill business would work. That if something happened to the grill, they would come to me. I didn't realize that a lot of people go directly to the manufacturer, and I think the reason is they're not used to having a dealer. They're used to buying these things online, and people people don't compare. They like that.
Oh yeah.
They like being able to come back to where they bought the product to either get a part or get an accessory.
And it's kind of like they get the feeling of personal service. It's a person I'm going back to, instead of having to find this company on the internet and try to do business with them, and you don't even know who you're talking to.
Jason, I could not believe what a personal decision buying a grill was. I never,
Yes.
I never, I bought I was always a gas grill guy, and I had some special cookers that I used for barbecue contests and cooking, but I didn't. I mean, it wasn't a gut wrenching decision for me, but for a lot of people, this thing is a big deal because I guess, Perry, like you plan on having it for a long time.
Yes.
And you're not interested in competition. You're just interested in making good food for the family.
Right.
And the number of questions. And Jason, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm the world's worst salesman. I tell everybody I'm a concierge. But people do the research, and by the time they get to the store, they know more about the Green Mountain Grill than I do. And the information that you've got out there, I think is wonderful. I think it's a great idea.
And the following that's already been established.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're lucky. Obviously, I have a ton of gratitude because this has been such a great adventure, and that's what it is. I mean, when we started this thing, it was founded on really three things. We wanted to make sure that we were an innovative company. We wanted to make sure that we were consistently doing something better to the grill. We never wanted to rest on laurels. Always wanted to do something better, bigger and better. Whatever it was always about, we've got to do something that's a little bit different than everybody else. And then a lot of times what happens is you get something that's a lot different from everybody else. That was number one. Number two, you always listen to your customer, right? Customer tells us what's wrong with the grill. We listen. We're not dead set on the fact that we know all the answers to these things. But when the customer tells us and it comes into us, we definitely take our time and make sure we understand their concern, we understand the problem, and if it is a problem, we fix it, right? But also, what leads to listening to your customer base is a scenario where you get better ideas. You get a lot of ideas, and I'll tell you, it's a huge part of our business is listening to the customer. And the final thing is take care of the customer, right? Customer service it's near and dear to my heart. It is we have the best people in that department. I would stand up for any single one of them any day of the week against anybody. They know these grills. Look, every single one of these customer service folks that you're talking to, they're all on shore, and they all know this grill. They have one in their backyard. They probably have two or three.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's unique. I think that is very unique in our industry because I can think of a couple entities that I would call and they don't know anything about those grills.
Yeah.
I know more about those grills than they do.
Absolutely.
Yeah. How many times have you called a company and you can tell the person on the other end of the line's flipping through their charts? They have no idea what they're talking about.
No, your guys.
If the customer says this, I'm supposed to do this.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, we're going to take our first break of the night. Jason, you're listening to The Barbecue Show live here on Talk Radio 102.3 and on Facebook on the Owl's Nest Barbecue. Our special guest is Jason Baker, the one of the main guys. We're going to call you one of the main guys at Green Mountain Grill. And our special guest in the studio tonight is Perry Collins. We'll be right back. So stay with us on The Barbecue Show live on Talk Radio 102.3.
WGOW.
The news you need. The state needs to know. The city needs.
Perfect, Joe.
Yeah.
Perfect. Can you hear me, Jason?
Yes, I can.
Oh, that's great. He's got it. He's got everything turned down. That's great.
Perfect.
See, we can continue to talk during the break for the people watching on Facebook. What and I'm gonna go allude to this when we get back, Jason. What was your aha moment when you I guess you were I know you're a pretty young guy right now. Did you help your dad put this grill together? I mean, when you first started?
I mean, I was definitely there. I was a part of it with him from the start, but he's the one that basically created it. It's his baby. Yeah. I think his aha.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think his aha moment was really focused on the fact that he could control temperature better through that variable speed fan.
Amen.
He was trying to solve a problem with the fan mode. He was trying to make sure that ash would be out of there and make sure that fire was out. But what he realized is that he could actually control the temperature better with those dual fans and that positive pressure from the hopper. That was the aha moment for him.
Good. We'll talk about that when we come back, when we go live back on the radio. What, how does it work? Are the corporate headquarters in Scottsdale?
No, we don't really have, I wouldn't say there is a corporate headquarters, if you will. We're all kind of spaced out where we want to live.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah, it is neat.
So, because I know
we have,
when I talked to Mandy, I think she's in Texas, isn't she?
Yeah, yep. Folks are all over the place. Yeah, we don't, you could live anywhere with this job.
How many employees? How many employees does Green Mountain have?
Around 50.
Wow.
50. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. That is really cool. Well, your customer service guys, when you call up those guys, they do. You can tell they know about the grills because they ask you specific questions, and they'll even say. Last time I had trouble with one, they even said, "We want you to go out there. We want you to be out there with the grill. We're going to go over this thing." And I thought that was pretty doggone impressive. They go, "You call us when you're out there by the grill, and we'll go over this thing with you." And and then that's good. That's how you get things fixed.
It's so hard, right? Because people want to tell you what's going on, and you already know. You know the simple diagnostics that need to take place, and many times you do just need to be in front of the grill. And like for me, everything's about sound. I mean, I can just tell from sound and kind of air pressure and torque on the motor. I do a quick little test on a grill. I can tell you if there's something wrong with it or not pretty quick. I think everybody's like that.
Tom Ide, I think you know Tom. He said the customer service is amazing. Perry's sister's on the watching us on Facebook. She says hi. Jeff Maxwell is back at the studio, back at his house.
Your goals and may require by multiple.
All right, we got about 30 seconds. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Radio 102.3.
Welcome back to the Barbecue Show live here on Talk Radio 102.3 with our special guest, Jason Baker of Green Mountain Grills, and in studio enthusiast, Green Mountain Grill enthusiast, is Perry Collins. Jason, I'm don't let him fool you. He's pretty good on this thing. He's caught on really quick. We
love hearing that.
Yeah, man.
That's what it's all about.
When did the all the bakers get together and decide to do the for lack of a better word, the IPO on the Green Mountain Grill?
It was always a plan. It was a plan once the grill was already created. That was the plan. It was the plan that was to start a company and start selling grills. And then it was, how in the world are we going to do this? And that was the part in which it was focused on this brick and mortar network. And it's off to the races there, just setting up new dealers.
I mean, were you and your dad like Ray Kroc hauling the milkshake machine around to different restaurants? Were you hauling this?
I think there was probably there was definitely some of that, no doubt about it. And I mean, early on, 2010, 2011 was when things started to really kind of materialize there, where you would at least find people that had heard of a pellet grill. That was the interesting thing to me, is that you most of the shows that we would do, or the HPBA is a big show that we do every year, and I did the first one in 2009, and at that show, people looked at you a little crazy, like, what is this pellet grill thing you're doing and you're trying to push, right? It's and then by about 2011, it seemed to be more people were knowledgeable about what a pellet grill was, and it became easier and easier. And I think as we innovated too, I mean, I think we were the first ones to come out with a remote control on the grill. It was an RF remote, and you could change the temperature, you could check your meat probe, and it was a neat little tool for barbecue. But people would call us out and say, "Oh, it's a gimmick, that's whatever." But no, I mean, I think it was a real need for people who. I would love some of the pictures that come through. I remember one specific picture where a gentleman was in his house, and he had a weather forecast station there, and his phone was showing that, and he was showing his grill, and he's showing his remote, and it was -10 outside, right?
Kick back, relax.
That was.
Oh, I love it.
Exactly.
I love it.
So, and I think that's what's been so much fun for us is, look, I'm I'm a barbecue fan. I became a fan of barbecue through this process, right? It was about a product to begin with, but then I immersed myself into the culture of barbecue and learned that barbecue community early on, and was just very lucky to find some really great people. And it's such a fun community. These are special guys, gals that go out there and cook in a parking lot on a weekend.
You got in right at the time when barbecue started to take off, when
totally.
all the TV shows were starting to get cranked up.
Absolutely.
And all of a sudden there's David Bosca cooking with a pellet grill, and everybody's at home watching Barbecue Pitmasters, going, "What in the world's a pellet grill?" Yeah, what's a pellet grill?
That's right. Yeah.
And it amazes me still. To this day, people come in and they've never heard of a pellet grill. And it's mostly people that have cooked on gas grills.
Right.
And they're going, "Hey, I'm looking for a grill. Do you have gas grills?" "No, these are pellet grills."
"These are what?"
And and they look at you like, "Explain that to me." And I love that part. I love explaining.
Yeah.
And you know what, Jason? What the best part I like explaining is the 12-volt feature of a Green Mountain Grill. Explain that to everyone, because I know you do it better than I do it, but I think overall that is one of the biggest advantages that this product has over the others.
Yeah. So again, going back to the start of this thing, it's all about innovation, and I think that one of the things that we were limited on in that 110 was 110, right?
Right.
So the thought process was, how do we get this thing transferred into the tailgater, the Davy Crockett? That was the focus. It was, how are we going to make sure that this thing is truly portable, i.e., let's make sure that we can utilize 12 volt. And it all came to fruition through the adapter, obviously, but even having the ability to utilize alligator clips and putting those alligator clips on a marine battery, let's say, to run your grill for 8 hours before depth of discharge hits in. That was revolutionary. I mean, it's really a cool thing to be able to, plug this thing into the wall, plug it into your car through the cigarette lighter. I guess it's the car charger now.
Yeah.
You don't call it that anymore. But and then also have the ability to tap it into a battery. I think that was a big opportunity for us with the Davy Crockett, and I think that people really recognized us right then. That was 2013. They go, "Wow, these guys are innovating," and we got an actual award on that from HPBA, a Vesta award for that product. And at that same time, we knew we were on the edge of being done with Wi-Fi. So that was the next thing, was the Wi-Fi, and jumping into that realm. It's always about innovation, and that's what's been fun about this company, is that we've consistently focused on that innovation strategy. But that 12 volt is a big part of it, and going back to what that aha moment was in the original grill with the 110 and the dual fans, we actually realized that we could control the RPMs on that 12 volt fan a lot easier than we would low, medium, high fan on a 110, right? So we went right into 12 volt, where we have true variable speed all the way throughout those RPMs, from 600 RPMs all the way up to 6,000 RPMs, and literally being able to hone in on an exact RPM to keep that fire going through that channel. So 12 volt just gave us all kinds of opportunities, and then that led to the Prime, and the Prime giving us the opportunity to do a single fan environment through that chamber as well. And little things that people don't even recognize, even just making there's a chute in there to if the igniter goes bad, that you can just pull it right out of the chute and it rolls back in. We try to make every part super simple. Same thing with the auger motor. There's a T-channel on there that hits the auger, whereas we used to utilize cotter pins. Well, this T-structure is extremely easy for anybody to change that motor. Same thing with the fan. It's 4 volts and a plug. And if you look at our plugs, we've advanced in those. Everything you see on that grill is constantly being advanced. Even the things you don't see are being advanced.
Yeah, the parts replacement is simple. Perry, don't you wish they'd make cars like that?
Oh, that would be fantastic. Of course, you might be out of business if they did that, Steve.
That would no, there'd be people still wouldn't do it. Tell me about the. When did you the pellet grill industry overall is still such a small segment of the grill business. When did you think that when did sales really start to soar for you guys? When did you get the first order in, and then who did you sign up first, and how did the whole pellet grill, the Green Mountain Grill, take off?
Yeah, it was probably 2000. It was probably 2011 where it really felt like these things were starting to move, and we were talking about dealers that were selling 10 a month versus 1 a month, right?
Yep.
And so that started to change, and we started to get more and more of those. And the whole domino effect from that, service becomes a very important thing. So are we hiring enough people? I remember working weekend tech support early on, and just trying to make sure dealers were happy and customers were happy. Those were the times when I look back and go, that's when it started to really grow.
Yeah.
Because I was busy 7 days a week, 15 hours a day.
Yeah.
So it was probably then, and it's continued. I mean, we've been lucky. This has been it's an industry that we definitely got involved in at the right time. But I think we've also added to the industry a lot, and I think that is hopefully our legacy with our customers, especially that we're consistently adding value to this product, and adding being part of a brand is important. Obviously, you guys know that, but I want the customer to feel very proud of that grill in their backyard, and I think that we do that through everything we focus on, especially innovation and customer support.
Good deal. We're going to take a real quick break, Jason. When we come back, we're going to be with Jason Baker, the Green Mountain Grill, one of the owners of the company. And when we come back, we're going to talk about the advent of the wireless connection on the Green Mountain Grill. And Perry, I want you to talk to how important that is to you as a consumer.
Sure.
And a whole lot more, with plenty of time, about the Green Mountain Grill with Jason Baker and our special in-studio guest, Perry Collins. We'll be right back here on the Barbecue Show live on Talk Radio 102.3.
WGOW.
News when you need it.
What else are we going to do?
That was a good segment there, Jason. That was good.
Good.
This is going really good. I was just looking at some of the comments.
You can just pull the string for me.
That's good.
I'm sorry.
That's good. I forgot to mention my good friend Frank Blair wanted me to mention that Phil Mickelson was an Arizona State alumni.
Oh, that's a great one.
Well,
that is a great one.
Who didn't know that? That's a big one. Isn't it funny? People get on something. I do this with most of my guests. When they go to a university or college that's pretty well known, and people in the chat talk about it for like 5 and 10 minutes into the show. Funny. Who the famous people that went to their school. I guess Tennessee, other than Peyton Manning, would be Howard Baker, former senator. Howard Baker was one of the more famous Tennessee alums. Al Selvage says the hotspot adjustment rod is great. A big selling point for him. I think that's a good part of the grill too, Jason.
I do too. I would love to talk about that.
We will, because I always tell people that every grill's got a hot and a cold spot, but on the GMG you can tell the grill. You can tell the grill where its hot and cold spot's going to be.
Yeah, I was pretty impressed with the when I took it apart after the first cook to clean it. How obviously the heavy duty steel the fire distribution box was. That was pretty impressive for me.
Oh, it's solid all the way through it. I tell you, it
is a solid grill.
It's a good grill.
It is.
I tell you what, we're done.
It was a lot of fun. But
no, I was just saying we're looking for 2021 be better than 2020, I believe we can. I know 2020 was an enigma because everybody was home and we're going out and buying grills. But I think the momentum's going to carry. I think people are forming habits out of staying home and seeing how much fun cooking at home can be, instead of going out, say, every Saturday. Instead of saying let's go out to Smoky Bones this Saturday, let's say, well, we'll just stay in and do our own barbecue because we've got this grill now that's easy to use.
It's just so much less stressful barbecuing. That was the biggest thing with me.
Totally agree.
Takes the stress right out of it. Did you have much of a grilling background before this, Jason?
Not really. I probably did. I don't know. I take that back. People would probably always put me in charge. So,
yeah.
But yes, I did. I could do what I was doing. But
Talk
all right, here we go.
2.3.
You are back on the Barbecue Show live on Talk Radio 102.3. This is Steve Ray with Perry Collins in the studio. Jason Baker, one of the owners of Green Mountain Grill, with us on the Butcher Barbecue Hotline. Jeff Maxwell back at his studio in-house monitoring the chat. We appreciate everybody that's joined us on Facebook. Keep those questions coming. Your sister wants to know if you're going to make some macaroni tomorrow. I've got a great recipe.
We her and I tag team that. She puts it together, and I handle it on the grill. It is awesome.
Jason,
we've done about 4 of them.
Have you done macaroni in your grill yet?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Is that not the best taste?
Yes.
That's so good.
That and smoked meatloaf.
I want to try that.
It's a good one.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
Smoked meatloaf is just off the chain good. Hey, let's talk about I want to talk about the Wi-Fi, but first, let's talk about the adjustable hotspot. Because Perry, tell Jason what you like about that, because it's something that's unique to this grill.
Seriously, you don't have to worry about, if you have to move your meat or whatever over to it or away from the hotspot, to try to quote salvage it. The next time I just got me a little Sharpie marker on the rod on the outside. That's where it goes each and every time. After the first time, it was real close. I think somewhere in the manual it told you to start out with, I think 2 or 2.5 inches from the left side. And I tell you, it was within an 1/8 of an inch of. I only had to fine tune it after that first cook, and it's perfectly centered now. There's not really a hot spot. It's distributed perfect.
And if you're listening on the radio or on Facebook, what we're talking about is on the Green Mountain Grill. There's a rod that sticks out on the bottom. At the midpoint bottom of the grill, and you can actually move the diffuser back in diffuser. I believe I'm saying
something
that right.
Like that.
And you can actually move the hot spot in the grill. So instead of the grill telling you where the hot spot is going to be, you tell the grill where the hot spot and cool spot's going to be. How was that born, Jason?
Yeah, I mean that is a great innovation that I have to give a lot of credit to Jim Olson on a Facebook page, Green Mountain Grill Owners Facebook page. That was something that he was tinkering around with, and we started to do some testing internally to basically show that, look, at different temperatures, the fan is obviously pushing more air through there. And what happens is, if you are consistently pushing air through there, and you have that set up a specific way, it can create a hotspot. And if you are low, it can do the same thing. It can kind of move the dynamics, the thermodynamics inside that grill change based on where that heat shield is. And so creating that upside down pyramid under there, you see the fire pattern. You can watch.
Yes.
In fact, you can learn a lot from the grill by just looking under there and see, which side is it going to. But it should be going evenly, unless if you really want to push that sucker in left, you're going to force all of that heat to the right. And I use a set of grill grates on the top of my grates, and if let's say I'm cranking that thing to 550, I can get almost 650 on that right quadrant instantly. right?
Wow.
By just moving that heat shield to the left. And so that was the creation of it. And I think the implementation of it, we did a little bit differently, but it's come through very nicely. And I think that is a great feature of the Green Mountain Grill Prime Plus.
So that was suggested to the company by a user on a Facebook group.
Exactly.
That's amazing.
Yes.
Wow. That is an amazing story, Jason. That is incredible that a company would listen, much less even monitor Facebook pages, except for the crazy things that people say. So somebody got on there and got your attention. And what did he say when you contacted him? Did you say, "Hey, how are you doing this?" or what are you doing to do this?
No, it was really we just had a conversation about it, and it was pretty simple. He said, "Yeah, do it." So a lot of the innovations, I'm telling you, they come from listening to your customers, or at least hearing the problem that the customer has, and then going back to the drawing board saying, "How do we solve this?" And you'd be surprised. I mean, you even see things that go, "Hey, that was already solved. That customer already did it." You can see it on that Facebook page. You see that modification they made here, or whatever, or look how they inserted the metal here, or whatever. We have found so many things from our customers. Look, we're lucky. I equate it to sometimes listening to people who talk about Jeeps, people who are big Jeep people, and they want to have every aftermarket product on there. The aftermarket products on these pellet grills are very entertaining, right? I mean, there are a lot of different products out there, and it's a lot. It's passion. If you're sitting there taking a drill and breaking into this thing and modifying and creating. I mean, I love it. It's American ingenuity, and we freaking love it. It's amazing.
Tell me about when did the advent of Wi-Fi come in, and who thought of that? Because I know Perry. That was one of the big selling points with Perry. He's a tech geek, and he loves running that thing from his telephone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so at the time, I think there are a lot of entities out there that were doing Wi-Fi on all kinds of things, right, including pellet grills. And so Mac Grills was probably the first to really do it. GrillSawn had done it. Boneless had done it. We kind of came out and decided to do it from an app standpoint on both platforms, on Google and on Apple, and kind of did it in stages. And I think that kind of came about. It was really a natural progression, though, for us. I mean, we were already doing the remote control before everybody else. Mm-hmm. We had started talking about it in 2000. We actually started talking about it in 2012 because we had already talked about putting Wi-Fi or Bluetooth on the grill, and then started to toy around with it in late 2012, and then 2013 really put together a model to create it. And the implementation was very fun. We had no idea what we were really getting into because, every time Apple makes a change or Android makes a change, you have to change with it. And learning that update process early on where you're having to update the programs, we were updating programs a lot and teaching customers how to update programs. Well, the service folks weren't too happy with that. So we had to create a new app support team. Folks that wanted to focus strictly on the app itself, right, and how that all worked, and how did you update the grill, and how did you do this. Whereas not everybody was easy to jump into the Wi-Fi from the tech support side, right, from the customer support side. So it took a little while to get everybody up to speed there. Now everybody's great. Everybody knows everything about these things.
You've done an awesome job with that.
It was a learning curve.
Yeah.
The first big product I tried on my grill was first time was a brisket. So scared of them, on my other attempts of grilling, and got hooked up on the Wi-Fi. Got it hooked up to my router. Me and my son, about an hour into the cook, I saw the app was working. That was all the confidence I needed. And me and my son went and worked out for an hour and a half, and I sit there at the gym, watching, double checking the grill. It's unreal.
I love it. And we have two probes too. I mean, I think that's also important on that grill, right? Some of the folks that are doing this have one probe. It's nice to have two probes, especially for a brisket, because there are you do know from cooking these things that there are different temperature points, and so knowing where those are and knowing how to rotate throughout the cook, or when to rotate, I should say, that's important.
Yeah, people don't realize you've got to move a brisket around, and having the probes in the point and in the flat
tells you when and where.
Yeah, and now some people will use the probes and they'll maybe overthink. It makes people overthink a little bit instead of trying to learn to cook a brisket. They learn to read a thermometer, and I've got little issues with that, but still it's the best thing. If you're not interested in fire management, if you're just interested in good food, like I am, and making good food, this Green Mountain Grill, it is so easy to use, Jason. And what kind of feedback do you get from people? You heard Perry say it took all the stress out of it.
You don't have to worry about fire management anymore.
To me, getting a fire to burn right is a challenge. But I soon found out I'm in the minority. Most people don't want that, do they?
I didn't. Yeah, they want it easy. I mean, most people really do want it easy, and I don't know if it's entirely easy, right? I mean, there's still tricks of the trade with a pellet grill and getting your brisket to turn out perfect. But I think it does take some of the guess game out of it. I really do, and I think the feedback is in the pictures. I mean,
it took the hardest part out of it, Jason, and that was for me. That was that fire management. Now you can play around and experiment with the other parts of it.
Yeah, I mean, the customers I love. I mean, one of my favorite things to do is to just scroll through that Facebook page and watch what people are creating, and people are just amazing. I mean, it's amazing. Really, I would even say 2020 versus 2019. The pictures you're seeing this year are much different. I mean, they've almost kicked it up a notch. The food is looking better and better. That probably comes to your point where people are home more. They've got more time to spend, and they're focused on cooking. But that's the love of this. It keeps up in my heart and all of our hearts when we're able to see the results, right?
Yeah, let's don't leave out the iPhone 12 too, Jason. We can't. Let's don't pull a muscle. Let's don't pull a muscle patting ourselves on the back. that iPhone 12 with all those different lenses on it, that's pretty strong right there for taking pictures. Hey, if it can make some of my barbecue look, if it can make my barbecue look good, it can make anybody's.
True. Very true. You're probably right. There's some of that too. I agree.
Hey, we're going to take our last break of the evening, Jason. We come back, we're going to find out what's next and what's upcoming for the Green Mountain Grill right here on the Barbecue Show live on Talk Radio 102.3 with the Green Mountain Grill guy Jason Baker and our special guest in studio Perry Collins. We'll be right back.
Perry, on your brisket, are you just doing salt, pepper, garlic? What do you?
No, I had to buy some rub from Steve, and one of the things I learned after my first brisket, which came out very well for my first one. He did another Saturday with some professional barbecuers coming in and doing some demos, and I learned I should have injected, and I didn't do that. And I'm going to try that next time on the brisket also. Man, I tell you, this barbecuing, how much easier the Green Mountain Grill has made it for me. Now, it's exciting to start experimenting, with the rubs, with injection, with time, heat, playing with all that, see what kind of end results you get.
What it did for me is finding out about pellet cookers. Was it took the focus off of the vessel and put it onto the food for me.
Yeah.
I could spend more time with food prep than I could with getting my smokers at the right temperature because the bigger ones they take a little longer. But I tell you, Jason, I'm almost ready to get the big whole hog cooker that you guys sell. That's pellet driven.
Why not?
Yeah.
Why not? Just load up.
Yeah, and give that a whirl because it made me more interested in cooking other things than just traditional barbecue, like we were talking about macaroni, smoked meatloaf.
Yep.
Things of that sort. Pizza. My gosh.
We got to talk about the pizza oven.
Yeah, the pizza oven is that thing. I mean, you could spend a whole, and I did with Matt Frampton a whole show talking about the Green Mountain Grill pizza oven. How easy that thing is to use. I mean,
it's awesome.
you'll ruin one pizza, and that's it. You know, your first one you'll screw it up, and then but then after you'll have the hang of it, and after that, you know your pizzas will be fantastic.
Jason, I'm making a prediction. You're going to sell a bunch of pizza oven attachments this year. Once the word starts getting out there, man, it's unreal.
Well, here at the Alsden's Barbecue Supply and Pro Shop in West Tennessee, we are stocked up on pizza ovens. I've got pizza ovens all over the store.
Well, and what I want to experiment with, Steve, is using a pizza oven attachment, but with a cast iron skillet, and start to experiment with some searing.
Oh yeah.
I saw that on some of the Facebook pages.
Just get a small wire tray and throw a steak on it.
Yeah.
Have you done that, Jason? I'm sure you have.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yep. That turns out phenomenal.
Yeah, it makes a steak, and I mean it cooks it super quick, and it's like one of those you get at Ruth Chris, because it's cooked from the top and the bottom.
Right.
And
that's exactly right.
Man, they're good. That's good food. There's just so much you can do with this thing, and I like it because you can do it on a Tuesday night. That's all I like.
Yeah.
You go out there Tuesday night. Hey, I want to make some macaroni. You turn the button, hit the button, and then your grill's on. You go in there and make the macaroni. You come out, the grill's sitting at 350. You put it in there for an hour. You're done.
WGOW FM.
All right, coming back.
Radio 102.3 FM, the Talk Monster.
All right, we're back on the Barbecue Show live here on Talk Radio 102.3 with Jason Baker of Green Mountain Grills and Perry Collins, Green Mountain Grill Enthusiast. We're going to touch on two things this last segment, guys. First, we're going to talk about the pizza oven, and then we're going to talk about what's next. Jason, anything? Talk about the birth of the pizza oven quickly, and then Perry, I want you and Jason to have a little back and forth about this thing because it's incredible. Incredible.
Yeah. So look, this was all about concentrated heat, making sure that we could utilize the temperature control on the grill and have some kind of an effect inside of some kind of a funnel type situation that would give us heat. And so that was the birth of it. It was creating that wood-fired pizza. That was the problem, right? We'd see all these pizzas, or we'd see people come give us pizzas, and they just didn't have that same texture, that same taste. Some people nail it, yes, absolutely. But being able to concentrate that heat, being able to say on that dial, hey, put this at 250, and that stone's going to be over 500 degrees, and I'm going to be able to move my peel in there, launch that pizza, and move that peel around, and even bring that up to, hit some of that radiant heat to make it crispen up, make it bubble a little bit. Frampton talks about how cupping takes place in pepperoni, right?
Yeah.
All these different things start to take place. It has to come with some serious heat, and so that pizza oven really does all of that. Hits all of those heat moments.
Perry, what did you find the same thing? Have you got it mastered? How long did it take you to figure it out?
It was intimidating at first, but once I actually tried the first one, the confidence that I immediately got from it, man, it was unreal. The 3-4 minutes we were in there, tasting the first one, and already excited about change some of the ingredients on the next one. Come on, hurry up, let's get this one on there. It's unreal. And you cannot describe the taste, such greater taste of a homemade pizza. I care nothing about another frozen pizza. Never.
Or calling up one of the big chains. I mean, it's hard to. It's seriously,
no comparison.
It's hard to eat another pizza after
Steve was telling me all this for weeks and weeks and weeks. My wife bought me the attachment for Christmas, and honestly, it was a couple of weeks before I went ahead and put it on there after we did the one Saturday, and I couldn't wait. And I'm thinking, well, here's Steve. Hey, yeah, it tastes great. No, it tasted great. It was awesome.
All right, Jason, we got 3 minutes left. Tell us what's coming down the pike for Green Mountain Grills and accessories, and maybe even a new product.
So yeah, I mean, look, this year is going to be about the Prime Plus. We had to kind of come out with that early and not really do a lot of marketing with it because of 2020 and what that did to supply and demand. It was a different year for us, so we're going to kind of go back and now focus on as if we were ending 2019 going into 2020. That's kind of where our mindset is. And we've got a lot on the table. I mean, we have been innovation strategy here for a lot of years. But yeah, there's new stuff coming. We're going to focus on the Prime Plus this year, focus on the rotisserie a little bit more. I think people like what we did with the Prime Plus. There were people that didn't like the fixed front shelf. We collapsed it, put a light in there. Ceramic ignition is a great feature now. So moving on, it's just going to be this year's Prime Plus, and then start to talk about some new stuff here, hopefully in the middle of the year.
Well, the collapsible front shelf is a game changer. It gives you more space on the deck if you're limited on deck space. You can you can even with that collapsible shelf. A lot of people, since it does that, Jason, they'll buy the Jim Bowie. They'll buy one that's just a little bit bigger than the Daniel Boone. Right. Of course, the Daniel Boone's at least at our place, it's the most popular selling one. But they'll move up. They'll move up to the Jim Bowie with the with little extra grill space. I think you touched on something that's lost in the conversation, and that's the rotisserie. That thing is awesome. It is totally awesome, and there's nothing like sticking 2 or 3 chickens on that thing and letting them roll. And that is
agreed.
I haven't got that yet.
Oh yeah, and they're so inexpensive.
Got me interested.
I mean, I think it's like $89 and $129 for the big one. I mean, they're very inexpensive.
That's right.
And easy to install. And your grill, what's nice about the Prime Plus, it comes already with the mounting hardware on it. All you do is just buy the rotisserie. You don't have to do nothing. Jason, we got to go, man. You don't know how much I appreciate you. I don't know how much I appreciate you stopping by the Nest in here and talking with us about the Green Mountain Grill. And
love your product.
We'll definitely do it again, okay?
Thanks, guys. Really appreciate that. Really do. Thank you.
If you want to see the Green Mountain Grill live and in person, you can stop by.
Keep up the good work, Jason.
The Owl's Nest Barbecue Supply and Pro Shop tomorrow, where we will be open for business as usual. The shop opens at 6:30. A barbecue shop that opens at 6:30. That's right. I know what time these guys start, Jason. I know what time these guys start because I am one of these guys.
Wow.
And you can come by and see it. And next week we've got a Super Bowl special going on, and our special guest next week is Elizabeth St. Clair from Charlie's Barbecue. Look at Joe's face light up. He knows Elizabeth. She's going to be with us, and we're going to be talking about Charlie's Barbecue, and we're going to be talking about some Super Bowl treats and a whole lot more on the Barbecue Show live here on Talk Radio 102.3. And until next Friday, good night, everyone, and good luck. No one cares where you're coming from. Well, that was great, Jason. Thank you so much.
Good deal.
Yeah,
thank you, Steve. I really appreciate it. That was fun. A lot of fun. Yeah, it flew by.
I told you it would. It goes by really fast. When it's on the radio, it's really cool. You get to take a breath and talk, and everybody had a lot of people watching and listening tonight. Everybody, I want to thank everybody for watching on Facebook, and everybody over at the barbecue, Backyard Smokers Barbecue that joined us. Our special, that's kind of our broadcast partner, and all the people from Green Mountain, all the Facebook pages on Green Mountain Grill. I'm sure they were watching with interest as well, Jason, and we sure appreciate it. We're going to get out of here. We got stuff to do to get all the stuff up on social media. And if you're ever in the Chattanooga or Ooltewah area, Jason, please make sure you stop by and see us, okay?
I definitely will.
And bring Big Mo with you.
Oh, no problem.
All right, Jason. Thank you so much.
Be careful.
Everybody on Facebook, thank you for watching and thank you for listening. We appreciate you so much. We've got to go. Don't forget next week, Elizabeth St. Clair. She is a unique person here in the Chattanooga area. She owns, and her partner, what's his name? Oh, I'll think of it. I'll think of it as soon as we sign off. She's going to be on, and she owns Charlie's one of the co-owners of Charlie's Barbecue down on Main Street. It is a super place that's been open just a few years, but it has literally set the world on fire on the south side of Chattanooga. She's going to be here, and we're going to have some great Super Bowl tips for you. Okay, until next week, everybody, be safe and come and see us when you're in the Chattanooga and Ooltewah area.
Well, that did fly by.
All right, guys. See you later.
All right, see you, Jason. Bye.
Bye, guys.